Well, topping our news tonight, a Maryland senator is making headlines abroad. Senator Chris Van Hollen is in El Salvador advocating for the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. CTV's Noel leads us off.
Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen traveled to El Salvador to push for the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Garcia, a Maryland resident, was deported last month despite a court order preventing his deportation. Van Hollen called his removal illegal.
The Trump administration has admitted in a federal court in the United States that they had erroneously abducted Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Now, CTV has learned that Van Hollen spoke with Salvadoran officials, including Vice President Felix Ulloa, to push for Garcia's release, but he was not allowed to see Garcia due to security concerns.
Yesterday, when I met with the Vice President of El Salvador, I asked him not to be complicit in the Trump administration's law-breaking and to release Mr. Abrego Garcia.
While Democrats are supporting Van Hollen, both President Trump and Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele said last week that they have no basis to send Garcia back, despite a unanimous Supreme Court ruling calling on the Trump administration to facilitate his return.
How can I return him to the United States? Like I smuggle him into the United States, or what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it.
The White House insists Garcia has ties to MS-13, an international criminal gang, but his attorneys say the government has provided no evidence of that.
In fact, the judge in the case has said they've not provided substantial or any significant evidence to back up their claim.
Garcia remains detained in the Terrorism Confinement Center, a notorious gang prison in El Salvador. Noel, CTV News.